I am Zajef. I am a Genshin Impact theory crafter and content creator. Today we're going to be reviewing Spro's account. So for those of you who don't know Spro in my stream, you can feel free to introduce yourself as well.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm Spro. Also known as Dish's husband. Those are two nicknames that I go by. Either is fine. I'm scuffed, as you can tell.
Go here because there's a nice little menu in Abyss where you can basically just see all your characters and their levels without it being cringe. Well, why don't you tell me like what characters you main, what teams you like playing, stuff like that.
Yeah, so my Raiden is probably like my bread and butter. Yeah, she's number one. I like my Sara is not built super well, so I want a better Sara. I just want like an exquisite, perfect Raiden team. So, and I think Yelan is like good in that, so I'm going to be pulling for Yelan on the next banner. And then as you can see, all of my supports are like half built, so like they're all like middle of the road right there. Yeah. And then just like I told you, like that's when I'm like, I gotta fight this boss 10 times to get it past level 70.
Yeah.
Like never mind.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
And I've lost nearly all of my 50/50s to Mona and Chi-Chi. And recently I attempted to build them, but as you can see, I also gave up.
Okay, yeah. All right, interesting.
I think my Diluc's like C1 or C2, and then my Jean's C1. It's like I rarely lose to them. You don't have Chi-Chi?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'll give you one. You can have it.
I mean, I'm not a whale or like even a dolphin. Like I spent a little bit of money like when I started, but I don't even buy Welkin anymore.
Wow, proud of you.
I kicked the addiction. Do you care about clearing Abyss? Like, do you care about it? Is it something that like you want to be able to do easily? You want to be able to like?
So I think nowadays I can do it pretty easily. It's just a matter of like if I even want to go in there.
You were talking about Sarah. The thing about Sarah is she's actually not that good.
Really?
Yeah. Because you have high constellation Raiden, she's still good. When you look at like low constellation Raiden, Sarah's kind of just like it makes the initial slash Raiden number bigger, which like is the serotonin that a lot of people are looking for. But when it comes to like actual DPS, she's very often a downgrade. What she does is she takes Raiden's damage and she multiplies it because you have C6, but realistically C4, 5, and 6 don't matter. So because you have C3 Raiden, the amount of damage you're multiplying is bigger, and so her contribution to the team also in turn becomes bigger. Whereas something like Official, which is what I usually like doing in Raiden teams, it's not multiplying Raiden's damage, it's adding onto it. And so the how big the Raiden damage is doesn't affect how much damage Official is doing. So constellations of Raiden don't make her better. But yeah.
How does Official add to Raiden? See, this is also where I'm like, I'm a brain dead idiot. Like, I just type in like slice character review, Sevi plays character review, and I like watch it on 1.5 speed, and I'm like, all right, like I know the amount that I need to know.
Yeah, it's not so much that Official adds to Raiden, but rather that they both benefit from the same things. And so what you'll usually see for like Raiden hypercarry teams is you'll have Raiden, you'll have Bennett, you'll have Kazuha, and then you'll have that Sarah at the end, right? So Bennett and Kazuha, like they buff Raiden, but they also buff Official. And so you can like decide to trade that like fourth buff slot for instead a second unit that benefits from the 2 buffs you already have.
Yeah. I mean, I love Kazuha.
High constellation Raiden, that's probably not worth it, but it's still a nice thing to know about if you want to like switch it up and play different things.
What's your Raiden team?
Usually that's what I use. Well, when I play her with this build, it's usually Raiden, Bennett, Kazuha, Official.
Okay.
But lately, my Raiden has not been on this build at all. So one thing that I've noticed as well is he's not on 4-piece Noblesse. I'm gonna assume that's just because
I think I yoinked one
He
of those
was,
pieces.
and yeah, you yoinked a piece. That's usually what happens. Let's just...
Even if I didn't, let's say I did.
羽翼雷光千道，
Yeah. So
Sheesh.
that 400k hit. Pretty-
Holy cow.
This is your account! Why are you
Oh,
surprised?
sheesh. Oh, yeah. That happens all the time. You're right. Yep, definitely happens all the time.
Is that his highest crit? Wait, should we check? wait.
Nah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Wait, no, was it? Wait, was it?
I
No.
mean, it was 400k-ish, right?
Yeah. No, I feel like I've done 500k with somebody.
426k, 225.
Nah, see, I do it. It's not even the 28th, bro. It's the 27th. Look at that. It's not even
yeah.
the 28th.
You're right. That's a year ago.
Oh my! Almost flamed me, bro.
I'll beat him right now. Let's get ourselves a crit damage circlet, yeah. When he splits, right? Well, you gotta kill one of the parts, and when you kill it, like he goes like limp for a little bit, right? When he's limp, his resistance is like way down, so you can deal a lot more damage. So people use it for screenshots. Now the challenge is gonna be to kill the small dudes without like while still finishing with bursts up. Maybe I can just Raiden burst without any buffs. It's probably fine, right?
尝到恢宏，可寂灭之时，
Copium.
Cool. We didn't crit.
收起来吧。落雷，复活。
He's gonna die to Sarah's burst, isn't he? No. But
No crit again.
it's fine. I mean, I'm on 40% crit rate. It makes sense. Like whatever. It was gonna happen. It's fine.
How long
Alright,
is
it doesn't
that
matter.
internal cooldown?
You have a cooldown in terms of time, but you also have like a kind of a prevention from it doing it multiple times in a row. So basically, you have a time rule and you have a hit rule.
You have a timer when you have a hit rule?
A hit rule, yeah.
What's
So
a hit rule?
it's basically your internal cooldown can be decided by time or by how many times you hit, right?
Okay.
So what's a good way to... Diona's E is a very good example of like how you can show the internal cooldown hit rule.
Uh-huh.
And when you cast Diona's E, right, you'll get one melt, and there's still gonna be some pyro left. But if you hold Diona's E, you'll get 2 melt, and the pyro's gonna be gone. Because there's a hit rule where for 3 hits, your timer gets reset basically.
How the frick did
Now-
you learn all this stuff? Were you like discipled by the devs at Hoyoverse?
No, it was just... I thought it was really interesting, because I think the combat system in Genshin is really, really well done.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of just like figured all this along the way.
Who did you like learn this stuff with? Were you like at a bar with like 2 other buddies just like writing stuff on a napkin?
No, it was basically just figuring it out in theory crafting discords. It wasn't with friends at a bar. It was alone in my room. I love Baron Bunny. Great ability. It's fun to use. I love it.
Amber's little friend right there?
Yes. There we go. We got the particles this time. Okay.
I don't think I've
so-
ever like thought about using Amber in any team ever. I don't run Crimson Domain. I just Gamba Crimson Domain and
Okay, but I mean, how is this not leveled? SMH.
oh, I just got that. I think I just got that one the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I swear. What is EM Sans better than HP?
Yesn't.
Yesn't, okay,
Generally,
yep.
yeah.
Really? Okay.
With your stats, definitely. How much would you want to know about dank bullshit, like dank? I'm talking about meta teams that to someone who does not follow theory crafting will look like it's random bull.
Okay, yeah, I don't follow theory crafting, so yeah, I'm down. I'm down for some dank stuff. Also, if you're like, yo, you need to build this character, like run, like get these artifacts, like boom, I'll do it. And then like in a month or whatever, we can come back and like look at progress. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess first thing, I mean, you said you wanted to build Cookie, right? You're in the process of building her.
Yeah. I just need to go get some
Oh, that's relatable.
So if anybody watching will let me into their world, thank you very much.
Okay, since Cookie is not leveled, we'll be using Raiden as a placeholder. We've already got some EM stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, I like attempted the build once, and then I was like, what am I doing? Unga bunga. Dude, I love your laugh. It's so contagious. Somebody call me a whale. I'm not a whale.
So what does she have? I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
Wait, why are you laughing though?
The ADC one is something. Oh yeah. So you can see, right, the kind of performance to expect out of a team like this, and it wouldn't be much different with Cookie.
Yeah, that's a DPS Nahida right there.
Like, this is a 3-unit team that performs better than most 4-unit team. Like, you can play whichever unit you feel like at a given moment. It's a bit of a meme that like this is Illa's best team at C0.
So I can put so Sino can actually have value, but it's like really not him.
True.
It's everybody else.
Although you can actually play Sino like for real in a team that's similar to this. Like this is with a level 1 weapon. It's not like changing much to the clear
what
speed.
The heck?
Because
they need a patch.
Most of the damage is coming from Raiden here. Actually, this is a Dendro damage Raiden carry.
We stand Raiden.
Yeah, right. Like she's just like she's triggering Hyperbloom with her E, and triggering Hyperbloom does Hyperbloom damage, and that's basically all of the damage that we're doing here, and it's enough to basically shred through any single target content. And it's gonna work with Cookie as well, right? So when you do end up leveling her up, especially if you get Yelan, actually Yelan is generally the best last slot in this team. It gives you a team that's like brain dead easy to play. Like I know there's a DPS simulator where you can like input like rotations and stuff like that, and it tells you how much DPS you'll be doing.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and they did a sim where it was like this team with Yelan, and basically what they told the sim is they randomized the inputs. Like they just randomized it, and it was still doing better than like the average meta team. Having a Hyperbloom team at the ready, which by the way, right, like the only real thing that you need to do to get your Hyperbloom team like actually strong is, I mean, get an EM set, but you already do. Like your Flower Feather aren't ideal, so you could farm for that eventually, but it's not even like necessary. The one thing that you like actually need to do is level up your Electro character that's triggering that Hyperbloom to level 90, because that's where most of the damage is. It's in the base levels. Like the difference between level 80 and level 90 is like more than 30%. I think it's pretty fair to say that Singso is the best unit in the game by a pretty significant margin. He's very, very good.
What makes him better than Yelan?
Like the actual difference between 4 stars and 5 stars is a very slight base stat difference, right? So you look at like base attack, base HP, base defense, and ascension stat. If Singso was a 5-star, right, instead of like with this 400 from the 5, being at 579, he'd probably be at like 630. And then instead of ascending with 24% attack, once you get him to level 90, he'd ascend with 28.8. The actual difference in numbers is relatively minor, It's just that in a lot of gacha games, they give the 5-star characters bigger numbers, like through their multipliers, or just more like better kits. More better. Good grammar. Pause.
So we're just getting scammed
But
on the 5 stars.
The actual difference is just like the base stats a little bit. But very often, if it's a 5-star, I mean, it costs more money, so they want it to sell, so they give them like more unique kits or stuff like that, right? In the case of Singso versus Yelan, right? Once you keep in mind that the actual like base stat difference isn't that big, well, you have to look a little bit further than that, and you have to look into, okay, well, how much damage do they do? Well, Yelan's damage output, like with her multipliers and her stats, is slightly higher, but she generates less energy, which means that you're generally going to end up doing about similar damage because you're going to need to build her with a bit more energy recharge. Okay, so then what else is there? Well, Yelan also gives a damage buff to your active character, which is something that Singso doesn't do, so that's something that she has over him. But then you look at what Singso has, and he has significantly better Hydro application, which lets you trigger a lot more reactions, which, I mean, considering how broken all the Hydro reactions are, is very, very good. And then on top of that, he has like an actual insane amount of defensive utility that even without it, he'd basically be on the same level as Yelan. But with it, it's just insane. Like, people very often forget just how much defensive utility you get from Singso, right? You get a baseline 28, I think it goes to 29 and it stops at 29. But 28 plus 20% of your Hydro damage, but you always have Hydro Goblet, and you have an Ascension passive that's Hydro damage. So it goes to like about 40% damage reduction. And then on top of that, he heals a little bit. Which means that effectively when you have Singso on your team, you're twice as tanky, if not more.
Yeah.
Resistance to interruption from his burst, or his E. And it lasts the whole duration of it. So with C2, that's 18 seconds of resistance to interruption, which is a lot of time. And that's pretty fucking valuable. All in all, he just gives you way too much for one unit.
So it's worth getting Singcho to level 90 then?
Yes and no. The biggest thing about this is there's characters that benefit more from levels than others, right?
Right, yeah.
So at a baseline, what leveling up gives you is it gives you a little bit of base attack. And it gives you your Ascension stat, which in Sinto's cases would be 6% attack percent. But like, that's not really big, right? Like,
yeah,
his attack would go from 1,147 to maybe 1,170 or something. That's not that big of an increase. Where you will find more of an increase is through the way that like the defense formula works. So enemy defense is basically decided by the difference in levels between you and them. There's enemy resistance and enemy defense, right? Those are two different things. So you look at something like a Ruin Guard, right? That has physical resistance. Look at something like the Dendro, like Terrorist Room, that has Dendro resistance. Elemental specific resistance, like that's resistance.
Yeah.
Defense is something that it doesn't matter what the thing you're fighting is, it's only its level.
Okay.
But Raiden C2 is the very good constellation on Raiden. It ignores defense, and that's what makes it very good because you don't have a lot of ways to ignore defense.
Staying on the Hydro side of things, but switching up characters, can you explain to me Mona? Because I lose to Mona all the time, so like naturally, like I have a hatred towards her. But everybody is always telling me like she's such a good like buffer. But I have no.
I'm gonna show you how you use Mona. Okay.
Yeah, make me not hate her, so that when I lose my next 50-50 and I see her,
you put her on an apprentice note. Okay. And you remove all of her artifacts.
Oh no.
And then you try to pretend she's not on your account.
I'm a college dropout, by the way. Just so this is like the fact that you are engaging my attention right now is a pretty pog champ. How much time do you spend studying theory crafting?
I don't study. I just stream.
My Kazuha's EM was at 990. What?
Well,
How
is it
did you
more
do
now?
that?
I think I'm just very talented. You actually have a reasonable amount of ER, which is fucking rare for Freedom Sworn Kazuha users and Iron Sting Kazuha users.
What can I say?
Specifically in the teams that I've talked to you about, right? With like the Hyper Bloom ones and the Oven ones, the Curry ones, the Saute ones. You're gonna have a character with like on 4 piece gilded that is gonna be on over 1000 EM anyways. You don't need her to be on over 1000 EM.
Yeah.
You'll get the whole 250 anyways.
Okay. That's a good piece.
Hmm?
I feel like you're a disciple right now.
Yes. Learn, absorb my knowledge.
And then I
Okay,
kill
I
you,
mean-
steal your channel, and then become the next theory crafter, and then I name the next elemental.
You don't want to be
reaction.
the next theory crafter. Trust me, you don't.
I don't. You're right. I don't even want to think about numbers like that. I literally, so I got through college and I did all my English and history stuff.
Mhm.
And then my last 2 years was math and science. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good, actually. I'll just stop here.
Oh, hi, Thumb. Wait, you definitely want to get him to level 90. If you play him in like spread/quicken teams, he'll trigger a lot of spread. And
Okay.
spread is like a weird mix between the like vape reactions and the like hyper bloom stuff, where it has a base damage and it gets increased by some of your stats. Right, so it can crit and it gets increased by your dendro damage, but it also has its own base damage, and that base damage scales with your level, very similarly to how the hyperloom base damage scales with your level. Like right now, with what you have, if you wanted me to use it like as of this second, I would do this, and then just give him any crit rate circlet. This maybe. But if you actually like build them up a little bit, I just level the +4 this one, and then maybe put him on like HP Sands or something like that. But it's not. You don't really need to farm for it because at the end of the day, right? It's not like you're gonna die. You should be fine. With Singso's damage reduction plus Zhongli, it's really hard to die. Yeah, Yelan. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be Yelan as well, so Elegy. You want her on Emblem? I haven't looked too much at your Emblem art. That's not... That's not what... Yeah. Okay, so we're going to...
You can use a stand-in. You can use like Candace as a Yelan stand-in or whatever
Mm-hmm.
for artifacts.
Ooh! Goodness. That's nice.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that.
You've got a few others that could be good, but like, it's nice. And also potentially, okay. So you're definitely gonna need to maybe not farm the emblem domain, but at least level up a lot of your emblem pieces. You are gonna want Singso on attack sands in double hydro with Yelan. Sometimes you can even get away with like attack sands plus Jade Cutter. Or at least ER Sans Jade Cutter. But you definitely won't need an ER weapon plus an ER Sans. That's very overkill in double hydro. In solo hydro, it can be like it's still overkill, but it can be more comfortable than doing something else. Like it's not the end of the world. But in double hydro, if you go with Yelan, like you definitely don't need all that ER. But for these, let's put them in order. What's probably the most important thing? Probably Cookie 90 actually.
Yeah.
Probably Sarah's E because it's relatively cheap and it's pretty low level right now.
Okay.
Favalance. I mean, levels on Favalance aren't actually that important because they don't do anything for Zhongli, right? Zhongli's burst isn't necessary to use. And his damage is negligible. So it's kind of just like you level him if you want the burst to do more damage, which you said that you do, but it's not like a particularly high priority thing. It's basically you do it whenever you feel like it. So that's the list. That's the
Alright.
ordered list.
This is helpful.
That's I hope so.
I feel like
that's the point.
I just feel like I've kind of just been like playing Genshin and like wishing and like giving up halfway on things. So it's nice to have like a
yeah.
Now every time I play, it's like okay, not like I turn on the game and I'm like okay, what am I gonna do with my resin? Well, let me just condense it and run Emblem because I want to.
I mean,
yeah. When's the air fryer team coming in?
You wanna know about air fryer?
Oh, is that a real thing? I just saw somebody in chat.
Yes,
oh
it
my
is.
gosh! All right, show me the air fryer.
Okay, I mean you have Venti, so you can do it.
My Anemo boys. It's the only reason I wished for what's his name? Wanderer.
It's fine.
This might be like an hour-long vid. It won't be a lot to like edit, maybe, but my mom bought me an air fryer.
How's it going?
It's good. I mean, chicken nuggies, you know. Based.
Yeah. So basically, this theme you have burning, but because you're swirling pyro, the unit that's triggering the burning is your animal unit, which means that because you want to build them full EM anyways, you get actually somewhat decent damage out of your burning.
I actually kind of like this team.
It's also basically like self-sustaining, right? So if I as long as Nahida's E is still active on them, anytime I hit them with an animal attack, they'll start burning again.
And that's the right artifacts on them? Like I don't have to change artifacts?
No, or not right now. But
maybe for
you don't need to farm new artifacts for it. No, it's just him on EM as well if you can. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter that much. Nahida on whatever, Bennett on whatever.
Okay.
Okay, right. Like once you've done this once.
GG's.
You do this, and they all start burning again. Even if they're very far away from each other.
Dang, bruh.
So it's a team where, like, if you're against, like, very large groups of enemies, it's kind of like, it prevents you from up, basically.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't know you could do that with Nahida's E. I didn't know you could scan like that. I thought they all just had to be, like, in frame.
Which means that a thing that can actually and probably will happen very often with a team like this
Bro, good night.
Is this.
Oh, shoot. How did that happen? The electro? Or the burning?
No, it's burning. It's just burning deals a lot of damage to yourself.
Holy cow.
And if you're against a lot of enemies, it deals even more damage because there's no actual limit to how many instances of burning you can take from your own burning. So honestly, I think that covers everything I wanted to cover today.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's super helpful.
Let me send you... Do you have Excel?
Maybe?
I'll just copy it in a Google Sheet then and send it to you, just in case.
Okay, that was fun. I learned a ton. Real quick, let's go. Powatow, thanks for the follow. T-Bone, thanks for the follow. Spook, yo, thanks for the sub. I got a couple subs. Oh, that's not Twitch, just kidding. Yo, all the follows are coming in. Everybody, thank you. Let's go. Let's go real quick.
Go say hi. He might be like ending his stream very soon, but
wait, I'm gonna gift him 5 subs real quick.
At the very least, don't give me subs. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Yeah.
Bro, I appreciate it. You are now officially my new favorite viewer, and I want you to know I don't say that to everyone. It's really only you. You've always been, and always will be my favorite viewer.